organization at Bradley Broker Service Office, we would like to offer you the support of accounting in the background, where we have our own internal accountants that actually process everything that goes on and does the taxes and everything for you to say, hey, this is what you could take advantage of going forward if you choose to not to. If not, we're just going to give you the guidance and say, hey, from a taxing standpoint, this is what you want to be taken care of. We'll give those notes upon. Every quarter we have a breakdown what we do as a group financially, what we do as individual teams financially. And how do I look at that and manage the process? My goal is to say, as a team, my team leaders and I will sit down, we'll have a one-on-one interview, and I say, what's the goals of the group? At that point, they give me their goals, and I say, all right, let's put those goals a little bit higher than that. I want to see you aim, and I want to see you hit your targets, and we'll go from that point. And at that point, I begin to manage the process. Okay. Because if not, I may allow you to go, and at the end of the day,
too far
left field. Yeah. My goal is to make sure that you are actually reaching what you chose for yourself to accomplish, and I'm happy to set the guideposts in place to make sure you can accomplish those things. But that's just like having an accountability partner.
Right.
Yeah,
okay.
That's all.
Well, we appreciate that. If you could speak to the Kevin Braggs 20 years ago, what advice would you give yourself?
No doesn't hurt, and too much yes will hurt you. And I say that because you're young and you want to grow, and you have these big operations in your brain. You want to get there, and the no's are there to teach you. You may need more to do, or you may have too much on the plate you're trying to do. Okay? And so you got to identify that. I'm always been a personal self-assessment guy, so I look at myself and I always see what can I do better. But if I don't say no to some things I need to say no to, I'll find myself taking on too much.
Right.
If I take on too much, and then therefore now the capacity of my bandwidth to be my best at all those things have now been stretched. Okay. Right. And I'm at 5G. I can't just turn the dial and go from 2G to 5G. Right. So as time goes on, your ability to do certain things. I would tell them that, and I would say, hey, I need you to read more. In the earlier days, I didn't read as much. In the latter days now, I read a lot. And there's beautiful minds out there. And the goal is, you want to be able to take the concepts and some of the things that some people do that may trigger things in you that you may be trying to do, but you want to do it a different way. And so, that's kind of probably what I would tell them. And make the goals bigger.
Okay.
Make the goals bigger. Yeah.
Okay. Tell us, how did the pandemic affect your business at BBS for it to survive beyond it?
I learned from the early years and from now that the business industries goes in cycles. They're up and they're down, and you never know what made the trigger another cycle that may take you away. What happened in the COVID pandemic is sure it's scary. It slowed everybody to a no, and everyone had to rethink how they do the normal operation on a daily basis. We had moved away from brick and mortar years before this, and so therefore the brick and mortar concept where individuals were coming and going and passing by and being in a cluttered space and things like that, we had totally went to almost a Microsoft team base where we were always online doing things like that. And so the Zoom calls and all those things had been a part of us before this pandemic created the bricks and mortar problems that most agents had. And so, but we knew the phone calls were going to work, we knew the communication lines were going to be open, and we just took that and said, how do we build upon this? If you were in the office on a daily basis, you would be using some of that time to cold call, to follow up on different leads. And so guess what? You were constantly communicating. And so just by me taking this wall space away and this address on this particular block, it doesn't stop that from happening.
Right. What do you do in an office that you can't do at your home?
You can do that at your home, you can do it at the coffee spot, you can do it everywhere. The golf course, we've been saying that for many years. And so your ability to communicate and be available is the best thing. So the best resource for any job is your availability.
So Kevin, how do you see the real estate market being in the next 10 years?
This is going to go back to something I may have said earlier about the cycles of industries. You have to accept and respect the cycle that you're in so you can learn from it. Either you're on the peak or you're in the valley. You're learning when things are high, and you also got to be learning when things are low, because things are changing. And what you see, what was happening in that cycle when things was just going, and you pick up all the things that was positive in that cycle, and you pick up the things that are negative in that cycle, and you align them to see how does this sit with me as a leader, while I try to build and create the next 10 years for this organization. So I say those things are working. Okay, what else can I see that could work, that can align with those things in the cycle? Because, as I said, the cycle, because the industry is going to change.
Right.
There will be a build out and there will be a slowdown.
Yeah.
And you need to know what caused that slowdown. You know, this slowdown was because of pandemic and other things else, and then raw materials became a hazard. The last, and then after that, what? The pickup came. If we can go back 20 years ago, I could take you back then, you went from a point where there was a redevelopment act by, I think, President Clinton at the time, and right in his last years in office, and they began to go in and let's rebuild the inner cities and most cities around North America. And from that point, people thought, you know what, I want to build in the suburbs. And they ran to the suburbs. So that was a whole niche around how you create and build out a suburb. So you had missing links. And so people looked at that cycle and say, how do we address that when we're moving people this direction? And so you see the positive parts in that and also the negative parts of that. And you say, how do we address that when we build on the inside? You see the positive and negative parts of that. And so you just look at the data and you see how to make the changes to assess and adjust that way. I couldn't tell you in a perfect globe what it would look like, but I can tell you it would give me a challenging opportunity to build something new and look at what we learned from the past and make the changes that's facing me at that particular time.
Great. So you're flexible.
You have to be flexible. You
Absolutely.
know?
Absolutely. So Kevin, for people out there who might want to join BBS, tell them how can they get in contact with you or somebody on your team?
Well, I believe my team members are out everywhere around the country recruiting. But if they want to join Bragg's Broker Service, they can always go to braggsbrokerservices.com. And that would be a legitimate way for them to go and see the things that we offer as an organization and look at the different teams we have and see the different packages they want to sign up on. It's only cheap. And then if not, they can call us at our 1-800 number. Number is 1-800-749-4957. If they can reach out and touch us on there, and we can talk to me directly, or they can talk to individual teams in different cities and what they see. Each team member has their own extension that they can dial into once you get to that 1-800 page. Okay.
Awesome. Well, Kevin, thank you for giving us the time to gain some knowledge from you today and explaining to the viewers about your broker services and stuff. We really do appreciate having you here on Houston Connections. Last word is yours, sir. You can say whatever you want to say, drop some knowledge on us, or however you want to take us out.
First of all, I want to say thank you for taking the time to even invite me out and get my concepts and get support of this little brain that I've been blessed with to have. I truly appreciate pouring into individuals and pouring into people to reach their best and their true self. I remember my brother having a company called True Potential. When I was a kid, I really didn't look at it what it was. But now as an adult, I look back and I can say True Potential, that was really, really it. Because I like to see the people reach their full potential. And so, if any way necessary you want to learn and be a part of a great organization and grow, be a part of a family team that is big, and sometimes it may be small, but the reality is there's a team and there's a cohesive unit, and I think that exists out of love and respect for one another. And so hopefully that'll be it, and hopefully I can continue to be here and be of service to whatever God has given me the opportunity to do.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Kevin Bragg's Broker Services. Thank you for staying to the end of the video. Today our guest was Kevin Braggs of Braggs Broker Services, and I was your host, Leslie Williams. But I'm also a real estate agent. So if you're in the Houston area and you're in the market to purchase or sell a home, look us up or give us a call. You can reach us at Wylliamsteam.com. That's Wylliams team.com. or call me at 214-675-9916. We'll see you around the city.